what's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Camping with Coleman on the Extreme Scale Performance channel. It's your boy Josh, aka Coleman, and as you can see, I've got the Nissan Frontier in the building. This is one of my favorite trucks. I'm sure you guys have kind of caught on to that now. This is a Trailfinder 2 from RC4WD drive, and it is basically bone stock under there with a couple of minor adjusted situations. So like, for instance, I wanted to say mods, but I didn't really mod it. I have my shocks mounted in different locations. I moved the front axle forward just a hair. Just little things, you know. But for the most part, it's a stock Trailfinder 2 under there with some shimmed axles. And that's it. Oh, I shouldn't say axles, the shimmed ring and pinion gears, which is common place for most people to do with these. It is dirty, so it's going to get my mat all dirty. I got it on the nice clean mat here just to kind of show you guys the truck and let's get a good look at it. It's not perfect by any means. I wasn't aiming for a show quality perfect truck with this. I wanted something that I could actually take out and run on the trails on a regular basis that still falls into my class 1 category, or like you know, the new skinny tire category or something like that. I wanted something that looked like a street truck that I could drive on a regular basis. So this is what I came up with, and I really enjoy it. A lot of people ask me where I got the body, and I apologize guys, I don't know who made this body. I'm sure some of you guys probably know more about it than I do. I got it off Craigslist, and I took it and I modified it. And my buddy Jesse, aka Sharkbait from Big Island, Hawaii, who lives over in the Eugene area now, had some questions on Facebook about how I do styrene work and things like that. And it just so happened I did some styrene work with this, and he was also asking me about interior work, and I did a little bit of interior work with this as well. And it's not finished, so it kind of gives me a good chance to show you guys what I do, you know, and what goes into it. And to be honest with you, I don't have a set way of doing it. I try something different almost every time, but I can show you what I did with this one. Maybe that'll help you out, Jesse, and maybe some of you other guys. And at the same time, I'm going to try to kill two birds with one stone. I killed the motor in this the other day, and it needs replaced. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the top off and replace the motor and kind of show you guys the guts on this thing. And yeah, kind of like a little truck review while I'm at it. So let's go ahead and switch it over to the workbench, and let's get dirty. Alright everybody, we're over here at the workbench now. Got the TF2 over here, and we're going to go ahead and tear it apart. As you can see, this is a lot more beat up, and if you've watched any of my other videos about, you know, cowrc products and stuff, I use this mat strictly for doing my wrench and all of my hardcore stuff. It's got paint on it and oil and all kinds of nasty stuff, but believe it or not, it still works. If I throw down a piece of metal on here, as long as it's not stainless, it's not going nowhere. So let's go ahead and tear this bad boy apart. Before we do, go ahead and prepare yourselves. There's no Novak in this truck yet. I just got paid today, and I'm going to ship off for a new Novak setup for this. I'm not sure what I'm going to run in it just yet, to be honest with you. Probably just a Timbuktu, but this will be running a Novak setup. For now, though, I have what I refer to as my backup setup, and I'll go ahead and show you guys what I run in that. Let me grab some stuff down off here. Alright, we're going to need our 1.5 and our 2 mil, I believe, for this. Is that correct? Or we just need a 2 mil? We only need 2 mil for this, actually. Yeah, we only need 2 mil. Alright, so let's go ahead and crack her open here. For the TF2, I use 4 screws, just like, you know, for the Toyota body, I believe. It's the same setup. I just drilled holes inside of the body, like a badass. And when I take this stuff apart, even though I can just throw my stuff down on the mats, what I use are these. They're my corner mats. And so I'll take the screw out and put the screw there, and it stays. Yay! And yeah, it kind of helps me stay organized. I don't know why I like these so much. I think it's because, oh god, that one's dirty, super dirty. I think it's because I can, like, you know, I can take off like one side of the truck and put it in this one, and then I can take off the other side of the truck, put it this one, take off all the wheel screws or whatever and bolts and nuts and put them in this one, and it's easier for me to stay organized, I think. So you'll probably see me doing that quite a bit on my show. Alright, so we'll go ahead and take this part and show you what's underneath. The body is in 2 pieces, so I've got 4 screws holding the cab on. Let's see here, take the other 2 here. And I know a lot of you guys use drills and put these in drills and you can just zzz, zzz, zzz. You know, I'm not really a fan of that, I'm not going to lie. I tend to stretch stuff out if I use drills too often. But I love my old school dynamite wrenches for some reason, man. I've had these things for years. Alright, so when I take this off, the way I've got it is the interior is separate from the cab, and the electronics are all just kind of shoved up under here. Oh, I'm missing a windshield wiper. And my window's a little loose. Alright, so you'll see everything will just kind of flop out. Pull that up, out, and voila, there we go. Cab off. And you can see it's still attached through the lights here, which I will probably just unplug. Just to have, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and unplug those. Alright, so unplug the lights for the front. They go to an axial LED light kit. And we can set the cab aside. Oh, well, before we do that, I might as well just show you guys. So the back of the cab, for instance, this is all modified. This wasn't here, I had to build this. And then I slotted it to fit the 2 posts that are right there. Helps keep it in place. And there's nothing inside. I just painted it black inside. You can see how I do my windows. Super simple. It's just I cut out clear Lexan and I'll just, you know, glue it in place where I need it. You know, if I want to get more detailed in there, I always can later. But for now, this is kind of like my basher truck. And then, oh, excuse me, guys. I'm all clogged up right now. I got a tooth pulled, and I've been drinking lots of orange juice and stuff and soup and everything, so I feel all clogged up. It's no fun. Take care of your teeth, boys and girls. So here is the TF2 with the interior and the bed still attached. The bed has 2 screws, one here, that holds it in place. And I can pull that apart, but there's really no sense in it. I mean, there's nothing underneath it. I put my batteries inside of there, which you can see I cut the bed out and everything. Eventually I'm going to go ahead and box this in, right? I'll go ahead and box in the bottom of this, and this will have grommets on it, so it'll be held in place and stuff. But I haven't gotten around to it yet. Maybe I'll do that this weekend, we'll see. And so yeah, man, that's the TF2. It's real simple. It's stock basically under here. Now, when we get up here to this mess of electronics, it's really pretty basic, honestly. I've got a RC4WD drive 4-channel receiver right here. It does have a little bit of cowrc outer butter on it because I just got lazy and slapped a little bit on there just to keep it splash proof. It has an axial AE2 ESC, I believe is what that's called. And yeah, it's the old school axial ESC. And it's got, does it have a BEC in it? I don't think I put a BEC on this one. No. Yes, it does have a BEC. So it's got a little Castle BEC in there. And it's got a Traxxas Emax Titan HD 23 turn motor, I believe is what it is. 23 or 27 turn, I forget what they're. And oh, here I got one right here. Let me grab it. It is this guy. Boom. Right here. Which is a 21 turn. So it's a 21 turn 14 volt 550 motor. There's a reason why I do these. Most people are probably thinking, oh gosh, Traxxas is junk, blah 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 blah. Well, a couple of things. First off, it's not the slash motor, so it's not that junk. Second off, it's the HD version of that 550 can. So what that means is it can handle up to 14.4 volts. In other words, it can handle up to 4S. So running it on 2 or 3S is nothing, man. It actually barely even works under that voltage. So what I do is I'll run the axial ESC because it's dirt cheap. It usually comes with your kits or your trucks or whatever, or you can buy them used or whatever for dirt cheap. Run this motor because it's only 20 bucks, and it can handle up to 4S, and it's a 21 turn, so it's right in the middle. You know, you can get some wheel speed out of it, and you can get some grunt if you gear it down. And yeah, dude, and then I'll run it on 3S, and I've got a pretty powerful little setup for really, really cheap. And that's kind of why I like to do that. And that's the setup I run on there. And as far as the interior, it's here. Let me see if I can show you. It's all hand built interior. It's see, I don't know if you guys will be able to see that with let me see here. There we go. Alright, so it's all hand built interior. It's just foam. Gosh, I'm so shaky right now. I'm trying to hold this still. It's all damaged, you know. You can see there's dents in the glove box, and nothing's really perfect or straight. But like I said, it's hand built. I made this out of foam. It's the first time I ever built anything out of foam. Looks like it's actually even broke right there. I broke it in half or something, and that's okay. It cost me literally like 2 hours and, you know, maybe like 45 cents worth of foam to build it, you know. So it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. I can always build another one. And I did the structure with styrene. So on the sides over here, you see the styrene structure. And yeah, dude, I don't know. I was just messing around one day. I was like, you know, I'm going to try to build a scale Nissan Frontier interior. And so I just tried to build it to look like the actual Nissan Frontier interior. And you can see there's a stereo and stuff. I put in like the little gauges and all that. Yeah, I don't know. Is that focusing? There we go. Made a CB, and yeah, I just made it all from scratch. You know, I took foam board and just started carving into it and modeling on it. And I used this putty. It's just little gray tube of modeling putty. I don't have any left to show you. And then I use this stuff here. Let me grab it. I use this for all the styrene work. And let me grab some styrene to show you. I have a couple of scrap pieces here. Alright, so I will get styrene. Whew, excuse me. Alright, so I'll get styrene like this here. Can you guys see that there? Pick this up over at the hobby shop across the street. It's dirt cheap. It's bonding, or not bonding, but Evergreen. Evergreen, that's what it is. Evergreen Scale Model Company. It's real simple. Sheet styrene. I get it in different thicknesses, so you'll see it in, you know, the thin stuff or thicker stuff or whatever, you know, and sometimes super thin like that. And I just, yeah, I kind of use it how I see fit, man. I chop it up with scissors and everything. You can use some standard scissors. I stole these from my wife's salon. And look, that's the thicker stuff, and you can still cut right into it. And these are dull, super dull. Now, obviously, there's professional ways to do this. There's actual, you know, proper ways to use this stuff and to cut it and everything. There's actually tools for styrene. There's a guy here on YouTube that does models, you know, like transformers and things like that. I'm sure if you type in toy transformer, model transformer, you'll find the guy. He does amazing work, and he goes over all the tools and things that you're supposed to use. Me, I'm not going to lie, I'm not fancy in my shop, so I'm not going to be fancy on my show. This is a bunch of junk wiring because that's what I had laying around at the time. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not like a paid installer or anything like that anymore. I don't really care. This is just my toys, you know. So to all those guys that might hate or whatever and say, oh my god, that is a nightmare, that's a horrible wiring mess, I know it is, bro. I really don't care. This thing gets dunked into the friggin' river like 3 or 4 times a week. It gets rolled off of cliffs. I could care less. This stuff's not going to last that long. I'll probably wind up blowing all these electronics up eventually and getting something better and putting in there. And then when I do something better, I'll do it nice. Those of you that have seen my builds know that I've got a couple of trucks that I put to build, you know, extremely thought out, organized builds with the wiring all loomed up and things like that. I've actually done it for friends of mine before and customers and stuff, but for my own stuff, I honestly don't care. I just make it work and then I go smash, dude. I go smash hard. Hulk smash. But yeah, so anyways, you guys, just to show you, I'm going to go ahead and break a little piece of this, or no, here, we'll cut a piece, I guess, since I can't break it. My muscles are on vacation. Alright, so we'll cut 2 pieces like that, and what I do is we'll take a little bit of this here, and we'll lay down just a little bit. Boom. We'll take a little bit here, like so. Put a little bit on the back side of that, and I'm just going to show you how quick this stuff will stand up. It doesn't take much of it at all. Make sure you put your lids back on, because if you accidentally tip this over anywhere, you're going to hate your life. I promise you. Alright, so take these 2 pieces now that have been whited a little bit, you know, and hold them for just a second. Nice and tight. No fancy business. And they'll start to bond almost instantly. It's amazing. Look at that. Boom. Already holding. And it's not glue, like it doesn't, like, you know, hold on both sides. It actually physically bonds that together. So it's already creating like a chemical bond. So yeah, anyways, that, you guys, is what I like to use to build things. I love to use styrene to build everything, and foam board to make detailed stuff, and that's the setup I use for backup when I don't have my fancy brushless setups or my Novak, you know, setups in here and stuff that I like to use. Then I will throw my cheapo setup in here, and my cheapo setup, anyone can afford this, man. Take your stock ESC out of your axial, throw a Titan 550 HD, you know, brushed motor from a Emax on it, gear it down, and run it on 3S, and I guarantee you, you're going to have some juice behind that thing. The motors are only 20 bucks, it's dirt cheap, and that's kind of like my fail-safe. It's my go-to. I always keep them on hand at comps and things like that in case I blow something up or whatever, I need backup. I've got an axial ESC and I've got a little Traxxas motor. Together, you know, the whole setup is dirt cheap, maybe like 50 bucks. You know, that's cheaper than most ESCs. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and change this motor out, and I'm going to go do some trailing tomorrow with the boys. Itching to get out and get some tires dirty. It's been a while. So, in other words, piece of chicken grease. Have fun, you guys.